So we're joining with the Ferguson October folks. Because we believe that the things that are happening in Ferguson and Shaw are connected to the school push-out that's happening in our schools.
During this weekend of civil disobedience in St. Louis, the Missouri GSA Network did their part to bring attention to the issue of school push-out.
If you don't know what a GSA means, it means Gender Sexuality Alliance, which are usually in schools.
Really, it's a youth leadership org. We develop young leaders to empower them to fight transphobia and homophobia in our schools. And one of the things that is happening is that LGBT students are affected by school push-out, along with students of color and students with disabilities.
Widespread instances where minor behavioral infractions skip the principal's office and head straight to suspension or expulsion.
I've dealt with school push-out a lot. A lot of times when I'm talking, because I have a need to talk when I'm working. I've been in detention for 6 times already in this first month of the school year.
Studies have shown that students who are suspended are more likely to drop out of school altogether, and those dropouts and expelled young people are at greater risk of being incarcerated.
You are setting a pathway to the prison pipeline.
William Douthit is the managing director of Education Equity LLC, working to engage families, school districts, and community partners to support student academic achievement.
In simplest fashion, where you have students who have a higher incident of being disciplined, where there are school-based referrals to law enforcement for discipline infractions, where those discipline infractions result in juvenile court intervention, or in some instances an escalation to felony charges for those children.
Douthit explains that those students who are forced out of school for disruptive behavior are generally sent back to environments with no supervision, fall farther behind in their studies, become stigmatized, and may commit crimes, introducing them to the criminal justice system. And studies show that suspension and expulsion rates are disproportionate. Black students are suspended and expelled at rates 3 times higher than their white peers. Students with disabilities are more than twice as likely to receive an out-of-school suspension than students without disabilities. And suspension and expulsion for LGBTQ students are on the rise.
We've also seen some really, really transphobic dress code policies that say things like, if you're a boy, you have to dress like a boy, and you can't dress like a girl, right? And so for a gender nonconforming student or a trans student, this comes at a really, really high problem to them, right? So they can't express who they are with their clothing.
I think restorative justice is really important rather than detention or suspension.
Where students are kept within the school community, where peer counseling under adult supervision is an alternative, where additional social and any psychological supports that the school can provide should be afforded the child within the education setting.